Let's go!
Hey everybody, Coach Scott here, and today you've heard me talk a lot about getting the negative and toxic people and the toxic relationships out of your life, and sometimes that can be very difficult to do, and we've talked a lot about that in the past. And again, you don't necessarily have to be rude or mean to anybody that you have to cut loose out of your life. You just don't let them enter into that secret space anymore. And so today, I want to talk to you about the 5 types of people that we all encounter at some point throughout our life, because as we go through life, we all have what I call the tuition of life to pay, and that allows us to learn and grow. And it's important as you strive to be the best and highest version of yourself that you surround yourself with people who will support your dreams and who will buy into your vision, who will love you and care for you. And it's also important to note that you probably don't need support in all the areas of your life that you already traveled through, your history. You don't need support from what happened in your past, but you need support where you're at right now in your life. And most importantly, you're going to need support in where you're trying to go, your future. So every so often, you should always pause and take an inventory of the people that are currently occupying some precious space in your life. You got to evaluate, are they nourishing? Are they debilitating? Are they toxic? Are they adding value to your life? It's always important to do this, and sometimes it's very difficult and painful to do so. So today I want to talk with you about the types of people that are probably in your life today. Some of them have left your life. Some of them may enter into your life in a future season. So, number 1, these are the critical people. You got to be aware of the critical people in your life. These are people in your life that can find something wrong with everything and everyone, including you, by the way, including you. And I was recently talking to a friend at lunch that I hadn't seen in a while. In fact, I invited him to lunch, and I was going to take him to lunch and share with him just some thoughts and some things and help him out with his own future. And within 5 minutes of our conversation, he had already given me detailed information about what was wrong with 3 other people in my own life. Instead of having a nice conversation and talking about the positives, he went straight to the negative. And when your conversations with a person in your life involves multiple critical, just negative talk, chances are, no matter how much positive energy you invest in them, they will eventually find something wrong with you too. And if you spend too much time with a complainer, I can guarantee you what's going to happen. You're going to start complaining too. And my grandfather taught us this saying. He said, when you go to the barn to milk cows, when you leave, the cows don't smell like you. See, the problem with keeping complainers and explainers all the time around you and in your life is there isn't anything that you can do to help them see the problem. And if you don't cut them loose, then they will drain you of your positive energy and they'll sabotage your own potential. You know, the second type of person that's going to be in your life is what I call the no people. Whether it's a coworker or a friend or even a family member, no first people are always in a state of nay or no. And no matter what the idea is or what suggestion you have, they automatically respond with a no and then give you every reason on the planet why you can't do something. You see, the tricky part is discerning who is a no person and actually people who have our best interests at heart. Because sometimes a no is the right answer. Sometimes a no can be a good choice. But no people are generally people who are fearful by nature because they're too afraid to take risk. And if you spend too much time around people who are afraid to move on, afraid to make a decision, you spend too much time with no people, then guess what? Soon you're going to find yourself with that fearful spirit as well, and it'll attach itself to you, and it will sabotage you too. The third type of person is the can't do it people. These people are also known as doubters, and they're even more dangerous than the no people because many times what happens is they'll appear to be supportive, but they're always creating doubt in our dreams and doubt in our visions and doubt for our lives. And multiple studies that I've seen have shown that failure or quitting is directly linked to self-doubt. And when I was growing up, I didn't even know I was poor until somebody told me I was poor. I believed I could do anything when I was small until somebody told me I wasn't good enough. And what I've learned is that successful people start with a belief system that they can do it, that they will be successful. And if they can't do it or they don't know how to do something, guess what? They're going to find a way to figure it out. However, can't do it people always lurk around missteps and failures and setbacks and disappointments, and they're quick to point out what went wrong and why it's best to quit and not push through a tough situation. So cut the can't-do people out of your circle and surround yourself with can-do people that believe in you more than you believe in yourself, and use that belief they have in you to fuel and to feed your purpose. And number 4, this was a tough one right here now. These are the fake love people. Everybody has fake love people in their lives, and these are very, very obvious at times, and sometimes they're not as obvious. The fake love people always have an agenda, but unfortunately, it's not you. And unfortunately, the fake love people are not always easy to identify either. And they can be in your life for a very short period of time, or they may be there for years before the true identity comes forth. So this can be a very painful experience when you find out that someone who you were faithful to has not been faithful to you. But I've learned that if people can walk out of your life, you've heard me say it before, let them walk, let them go. But here's the hard truth. I've learned that many years ago, and this has happened in my own life, you must get used to saying goodbye to people. My mentor taught me that when you start a business, when you start involving yourself, when you get involved in ministries and you get involved with people, you must get used to saying goodbye. And furthermore, while we should do everything we can do to make sure we close the door on people that left us, there is nothing you can do to close that door completely from people leaving us in the future. Because it's just like I said, it's the tuition of life. It's just part of life. Because no matter what you do, people are going to leave. No matter what mistakes you make, people are not going to forgive you sometimes. No matter what kind of setbacks you have and what kind of success you have, people are going to always walk in and out of your life. But the great news is today that for every person that shows fake love and walks out, God will always bring another person to help you get to where you're going, and that's a fact. And for the people that do stay in your life, make sure you love them well, because those are the real deal. Those are your real ride or dies. And that brings me to my 5th. And these are your ride or dies. Ride or die people are your true friends. They stick with you through thick and thin, even if you make a mistake, even if you have a failure. They're your spouse, they're your bestie, they're your brother from another mother, they're your sister from another mister, and so on and so forth. So see, you're not afraid, when you're with ride or die people, you're not afraid to be your real self. You're not afraid to tell your ride or die anything and everything, because you know that they're going to be with you. You know that they're going to respect your opinion. You know they're going to love you and support you anyway. They love you when you're up. They love you when you're down. They believe in you, and they'll defend you even when you're not there. And in your absence, they will always take up for you. These are the true jewels of life. And if you have 1 or 2 ride or dies, then you're blessed. You see, we all need different types of people that serve us and whom we can serve. And when you surround yourself with people, it's very important to evaluate if they are nourishing or if they are toxic. And you owe it to yourself to know what they bring to the table so that you can understand what type of shared experiences you can expect to have. So again, it's always important to evaluate the types of people in your life. Even the people that leave you doesn't mean you shouldn't stop believing in them or praying for them or wishing the best for their life. It just means they can no longer occupy that sacred space in your heart that you reserve only for those people that are helping you get to the next level and are your true ride or dies. Hope this helps you guys, and have a great day. God bless you guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.